Rich is one of my favorite brands. Go get your gifts today. And let's get into the video. Shoo, shoo. It's Social Whispers. Back on the mics. These are the old socks. Do you hear that airplane? Is it binaural in your ears? These are the old socks mics. But without the socks. So I don't know exactly what to call them. Yet. But I chose to pull them out because I've been watching a lot of ASMR lately, just like you have, I'm assuming. And I've really been enjoying whispering videos with the dual mic setup, where the binaural is a little bit more pronounced, more extreme. That probably wasn't even that extreme. And so I said, hey, I have two mics as well. I can do that too. So I pulled them out and decided to try these microphones again, but with no pop filter. No! Now in the past, I have done a poor job. Of breathing into these microphones and having them pop. I would just pop a ton without the socks on them, but I'm trying to do a little bit better this time so that they don't do that. Let me know in the comments, please. Let me know what the audio sounds like to you. And if you like that, if you like it compared to my other videos, let me know, please. Let me know. I want feedback. One other reason is that I've been doing a lot of research on studio audio equipment and wanting to upgrade what I have. But I want to make sure that I am utilizing what I have now to whatever it's capable of. So I'm not just upgrading for no reason. So, other than that, let's start. Whatever I did in these videos where I'm just talking and whispering. It honestly doesn't matter what I say all that much. It's mainly how I say it, and that I'm just whispering. As long as I'm whispering, I don't think I'd be able to get away with everything, but I could get away with a lot of things. But feel free to shut your mind off. Shut that little tiny brain of yours off. And let me insult you to sleep. And I'll shut mine off as well, and we'll see what comes out. But this past weekend, a little update from my last Whisper Rambler video. If you made it all the way to the end, you know that I was getting ready to run a 5K. Paris and I were going to run a 5K. And then my goal time was 24 minutes. 24 minutes, it's not that fast, but it's good for me. And last year I ran at 24:03. I was 3 seconds short. So disappointed. But I was like, alright, I was very close. And then this year, I figured I'm gonna beat it this year. I'm gonna beat the 24-minute mark. Guys, I come around that corner. I didn't throw up this time. I kept it down. I'm flying. I honestly thought that the timer was gonna say 23 minutes and I was gonna beat 24 minutes by a minute. But as I got closer, because I don't run with my glasses on, I run blind. I looked up at the timer and it says 24:05. 24:05. I was 5 seconds short. I was 2 seconds worse than last year. And I was so disappointed. I just threw my hands up and started yelling, but not that much. I didn't yell that much because I didn't have the breath for it. And so yeah, I ran 24:05.
know anything about what you're talking about.
And he would always tell us if he fell on it just right and popped it, that he might have to get his leg amputated. And we always kind of laughed about it, but that sounds kind of serious to me. So I'm glad he finally got surgery on his knee. He's doing well. And then another buddy of mine, who you're actually going to get to meet here in the near future, old John Mark, he got sick, and he wasn't able to make it. But one person did come up, and that was another guy that you have met on this channel, Andy, our boy Andy from the Fellas. He came up last weekend, and I'll tell you what, that guy is just, he is a dear, genuine friend of mine who I love relentlessly. So he came up and spent the weekend with us. We went and played basketball just like the good old days, where we used to play it like 2 or 3 times a week in college. And so we went up to the rec center, and I'll tell you what, listen here, Gen Zers, whom I am also part of, and I just found that out last week because the company that I work for classified me as a Gen Zer. I'm 26, 1997. So, listen here, Gen Zers that are younger than I, there's this weird, dumb mentality that y'all have on the basketball court, and I don't know if this is everywhere or if this is just a common thing in Toledo. But this whole like, oh, I'm tired, I don't want to like lose while I'm trying my hardest. Like this whole mentality where, like, I know I'm gonna lose, so I don't want to try that hard. That's lame. It's stupid. It's childish. And you're wasting my time. Because Andy and I were just whooping up on these kids, and they knew, like, they were good at basketball, but they knew that they weren't gonna win for some reason. Like, they didn't even really try. And so instead of trying harder and like being competitive and just like having fun playing basketball, they stopped trying so hard, but like pretending that they were tired. It was like, that's foreign to me. Why don't you try your best and just have fun? It's cool. It's fine. Just play and have fun, and if you lose, you lose, and chalk it up, whatever. But what's not cool is when you don't try. Not trying is not cool. What was I even talking about before I went on that rant? I need to focus a little bit more on how I'm whispering. I just got carried away. And yes, we went to Texas Roadhouse. And let me just tell you what. I slept on Texas Roadhouse. I'm sorry, Texas Roadhouse. I thought y'all were just bread rolls. Not only are you the most delicious bread rolls that I've ever had, you are also a very good steak and a great loaded baked potato. I just want to thank you for blessing me and my family and my friends on Saturday. We also stayed up late talking, and I'm not going to share what we talked about, but let me just tell you that to have a friend where you can be completely honest, completely transparent, and share your life, put your life on the table, and just say, this is here, this is who I am, this is what I'm dealing with, this is what I'm thinking, this is what I'm feeling, and just being able to genuinely do life with somebody like that. If you have somebody in your life like that, let them know how much you appreciate them and love them and cherish them, especially if that goes both ways. It's very special to have a friend like that. It meant a lot for him to come up. So on Sunday, I ended up finding out that I had COVID. And so I have COVID right now as I record this video. I'm kind of on the back end. I've periodically been coughing, but Oscar's been cutting it out. Yeah, I ran a 24:05, but I had COVID, so now I have an excuse. It wasn't my lack of effort. It was COVID. The best excuse ever. And, so the last couple days I've had COVID, and I've been doing what you do when you have COVID. You stay home, you watch movies, and you play video games, and you sleep. I feel like these whispered Rambler videos just end up turning into movie reviews, or just talking about movies, but I mean, that's what it just wasn't funny, and I wasn't expecting all that much. One of the worst movies I've ever watched. And Paris at the end said, I thought the movie was fine. She's like, for a kid's movie, she gave it like a 3 out of 5. And I just could not understand in what world, even as a kid's movie, that movie would get a 3 out of 5 stars. And we ended up getting in a huge fight, and now we're getting divorced. Divorced over Paul Blart Mall Cop. But I just thought that was a really funny argument that we ended up getting in, because she said that I took movies too seriously, and I told her that she didn't take movies seriously enough. Because if a movie has my attention, 2 hours or whatever it is, I'm locked in. Like, I'm watching a movie. You have all of my brain power. I'm focused. I'm breaking it down. I don't think that that's always how she sees movies. I think she kind of sees them as background noise sometimes. Sometimes. And I guess I just didn't understand that's how she was viewing this movie, as background noise. And I don't do that. Because I love movies too much. But yeah, I watched a lot of movies, a good variety of movies. I watched like The Big Lebowski. I watched Dune. I watched Gladiator. I watched The Polka King. I know I watched another one, but I can't remember what it was. But as for Dune, I don't want to talk about each movie all that much, but for how much publicity and how many awards Dune won, I thought it was boring. I can recognize that, yes, it was beautifully shot, and it deserved every cinematic award for cinematography and the soundtrack and whatever. But one thing that I don't think that you can say is that it was not, for me, sorry, and I guess it depends on what kind of movie watcher you are. It just wasn't that fun of a movie to watch. There was some good action, but the dialogue, it was so serious. The whole movie was just so serious. And like even Star Wars, there's a lot of like comedy. It's funny. There's fun characters, and all Dune is sand and seriousness. And I would honestly be fine never watching that movie again, unless the next movies are better. Then I'd go back and watch. But then I only really want to talk about Dune and Gladiator, because I love that movie Gladiator. Because one, this is probably not that important for a lot of people, but there's no unnecessary sex scenes in Gladiator. There's none. There's no unnecessary sex scenes. And I was just talking about that in my last video. And hooray, there's no sex scenes in Gladiator when there easily could have been. I just find it so inspiring. I find that movie very inspiring. Just a man who acts with virtue and on principle, honor, and in a world where he is surrounded by those who are exactly not that, exactly the opposite. And I love to see that as a gladiator plays that out, and I know that there's some moral quandary in there, like what would, like me as a Christian, like what would I do as a gladiator? But I don't know, that's not exactly, that's something that I think about. But like, what would it look like? What would it look like for a general to all of a sudden become a slave and a gladiator? And just everything about that movie, I love it. It is amazing. It's incredible. 5 out of 5. I joined the 5-star club. Yeah, I think that'll nearly do it for this video. I don't want it to go on too long. So if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, 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 hit that subscribe button, and be on the lookout for a movie review